Grandpa, couldn't you just give us a little hint about what kind of work he's in?
Grandpa!
Oh, Herman, it's you.
Hi, Grandpa.
This is Colette.
We're an ordinary American family. That's what Herman Munster believed. But nothing about the Munsters was ordinary. Not the stolen concept, not the network war, not the Harvard graduate sweating in purple foam rubber. Not the illegal coffin purchase in a North Hollywood alley. You'll discover 5 shocking moments: the contraband coffin, the purple-faced actor who lost 10 pounds, the homesick actress rescued by co-stars, the Harvard intellectual turned beloved monster, and the impossible coincidence that changed TV history. These are 40 weird facts about the Munsters. The bonus fact: a restaurant where Grandpa served pizza decades later. Time to enter the madhouse.
Oh, bones connected to my foot.
Fact 1. The great concept. Heist
Is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin.
writers Alan Burns and Chris Hayward crafted their masterpiece in 1963, a monster family sitcom that would revolutionize prime time. They pitched to Universal Studios expecting partnership deals. Instead, Universal executives listened intently during the meeting. They took detailed notes on every character description. They asked probing questions about storylines and comedic timing. Then they dismissed the writers with promises to be in touch soon. Within weeks, Universal announced the Munsters without mentioning Burns or Hayward. The Writers Guild intervened after months of legal battles. Creative theft had paid better than creative honesty. Fact 2. The cartoon that never was.
Herman, what's the matter with me anyway?
20 years earlier, Bob Clampett was sketching monsters in his Warner Bros. Office. The Porky Pig creator envisioned an animated monster family show in the 1940s, complete with domestic comedy and supernatural sight gags. He pitched enthusiastically to Universal executives with detailed character designs. Story outlines filled multiple binders. Animation tests proved the concept's viability. The executives reviewed his comprehensive presentation over several meetings. They expressed genuine interest and enthusiasm. Then they mysteriously shelved the entire project without explanation. That abandoned cartoon collection haunted Universal's development files for 2 decades, waiting patiently for live-action resurrection. Fact 3. Beaver Cleaver meets Frankenstein's monster.
Hey, Grandpa! What's the matter with you?
Joe Connolly and Bob Mosher created television's most wholesome family with Leave It to Beaver. Simultaneously, they were crafting its most monstrous counterpart on the exact same Universal lot. Both shows shared production facilities during overlapping schedules. June Cleaver served milk and cookies in Soundstage 12. Lily Munster brewed mysterious potions in Soundstage 14. Same crew members worked both productions. Same writers contributed scripts to both families. Same underlying belief that family dysfunction creates the best comedy. The irony wasn't lost on anyone involved in production. Wholesome and horrific families shared the same creative DNA. Fact 4. Recycling Hollywood nightmares. CBS executives discovered a goldmine hidden in Universal's massive prop warehouse. Decades of monster movies had accumulated authentic costumes, makeup pieces, and elaborate set decorations. The network smartly based their characters on Universal's legendary movie monsters. Then they literally dressed them in identical materials that had terrified audiences for decades. Original Boris Karloff makeup techniques were studied frame by frame. Bela Lugosi's cape hung in the costume department. Movie props became television treasures overnight. Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman lived again through recycled nightmares. Hollywood's past terrors became domestic comedy gold. Fact 5. The impossible coincidence.
I'd like you to meet my date. This is Jack.
September 1964 witnessed television history's most unlikely scheduling accident. 2 competing networks had independently developed monster family sitcoms without any knowledge of each other's plans. The Munsters premiered September 24th on CBS to massive audience anticipation. The Addams Family debuted September 18th on ABC just 6 days earlier. Industry insiders immediately suspected corporate espionage or deliberate market manipulation. Extensive investigation by television trade publications revealed pure coincidence. Two separate networks had simultaneously recognized America's growing appetite for supernatural domestic comedy. The timing seemed too perfect to be accidental, yet no evidence existed. Fact 6. The Great Monster Family Race.
And after all, we Munsters are a very old family.
You're right, dear.
ABC executives experienced genuine panic when industry spies discovered CBS's Monster Family development. Network president Leonard Goldenberg called emergency board meetings at midnight. He accelerated the Addams family's entire production schedule without regard for costs. He demanded immediate script rewrites to differentiate from competition. Casting changes were made overnight. Rushed filming schedules pushed crews to exhaustion. Director Sidney Lanfield received unlimited overtime budgets with one instruction: finish episodes ahead of CBS. The entire fall television lineup was restructured around beating the Munsters to prime time. Competition had transformed television development into supernatural warfare. Fact 7. The color decision that defined an era.
No reason for a girl to have to look the way she does.
Universal's film vault contained treasure that CBS executives ultimately rejected for financial reasons. The original pilot episode, My Fair Monster, was filmed in gorgeous, expensive Technicolor photography. Herman's authentic green skin glowed under professional lighting. Lily's porcelain vampire complexion seemed almost ethereal. The vibrant Gothic decor of 1313 Mockingbird Lane created a visual feast. Network executives screened the colorful footage multiple times in private screenings. Then they made the controversial decision. The series would be filmed in cost-effective black and white. Their reasoning combined brutal financial pragmatism with unexpected artistic vision. Fact 8. The Purple-Faced Frankenstein. Fred Gwynne's daily morning routine involved a bizarre transformation into a purple-skinned monster that audiences never saw. Herman's iconic pale complexion required purple face paint to achieve proper light contrast on black and white film stock. Meanwhile, Al Lewis endured green face paint applications for his vampiric grandpa pallor. The color choices seemed completely counterintuitive to everyone involved. Purple and green faces creating black and white television characters. But cinematography science demanded such strange makeup alchemy. Gwynne spent 3 hours daily having purple makeup meticulously applied to his entire face. Nobody suspected Herman was actually bright purple. Fact 9. The original cast that never was.
Can't you just see it? Our picture in homes all over the country.
The Munster family's first incarnation featured completely different parents and children in a pilot that shocked network executives. Joan Marshall initially portrayed the vampire matriarch, named Phoebe, rather than Lily. Her performance brought theatrical Gothic energy that seemed too dark for family television. Happy Durman played young Eddie Munster with mischievous charm that differed significantly from the final character interpretation. Both talented actors filmed complete scenes together. They developed complex character relationships during rehearsals. They prepared extensively for series production before being completely recast during brutal pre-production negotiations. Their performances exist only in locked network archives. Fact 10. Phoebe becomes Lily.
You know, we don't get out at night as much as we used to.
Joan Marshall's Phoebe Munster presented an unexpected legal problem for CBS executives during early test screenings. Her portrayal was deemed dangerously similar to Carolyn Jones's iconic Morticia Addams from the competing ABC series. Network lawyers feared potential audience confusion and costly copyright litigation from rival studios. Executives demanded immediate recasting to avoid derivative character accusations. The vampire mother was hastily renamed Lily and offered to exotic Yvonne DiCarlo. Her Hollywood glamour background provided a completely different interpretation of vampire motherhood. Phoebe disappeared forever from television history. Competition demanded complete character reinvention, not just recasting. Fact 11. Satirizing suburban perfection.
Must have been a very cheap drive-in. When we demanded our money back,
The Munsters' opening sequence contained brilliant satirical commentary that most viewers completely missed during original broadcasts. The first season deliberately mimicked the Donna Reed show's famous opening sequence with surgical precision. Lily Munster lovingly prepared lunch bags each morning. She distributed them to departing family members with identical maternal gestures. Every movement was carefully choreographed to parallel the wholesome sitcom ritual perfectly. The caring vampire wife, grateful Frankenstein husband, excited werewolf children, but performed by monsters in elaborate Gothic surroundings. The visual parody suggested that all television families, supernatural or otherwise, followed identical domestic behavioral patterns beneath their surface differences. Fact 12. The comedy partnership continues.
You bought the only car I've ever seen that junks itself.
Fred Gwynne and Al Lewis arrived at the Munsters with established comedic chemistry from their previous successful collaboration. Their professional partnership had been forged in the police sitcom Car 54, Where Are You? From 1961 to 1963. They played bumbling New York City patrol officers with perfect comedic timing and natural rapport. Producers specifically sought to reunite them for the Munsters, knowing their proven ability to balance physical slapstick with sharp verbal wit. Their genuine friendship translated seamlessly from police precinct chaos to monster household mayhem. Lewis's manic vampire energy complemented Gwynne's gentle giant Frankenstein persona perfectly. Fact 13. The Cowardly Lion says no.
I am not going down there at the risk of making a fool out of myself.
Bert Lahr, Broadway legend and beloved Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz, was Universal Studios' enthusiastic first choice for Grandpa Munster before Al Lewis claimed the iconic role. Network executives genuinely believed Lahr's extensive theatrical experience and impeccable comedic timing would elevate the vampire patriarch character beyond simple sight gags. They offered him generous financial compensation, significant creative input opportunities, and star billing alongside Fred Gwynne in all promotional materials. However, Lahr ultimately declined the tempting offer, expressing serious concerns about television's notoriously demanding daily shooting schedule. The physical demands of elaborate monster makeup also worried the aging performer. Fact 14. The age paradox.
My mother is over 400 years old, and right now she is alive.
The Munster family's generational relationships defied both biological logic and the actors' actual chronological ages in wonderfully absurd ways. Al Lewis, who portrayed the ancient centuries-old vampire patriarch Grandpa Munster, was actually several years younger than Yvonne De Carlo's supposedly younger daughter-in-law Lily. Fred Gwynne, playing Herman as Lily's devoted contemporary husband, was chronologically older than both vampire family members. The age discrepancies created constant unintentional comedy during daily production schedules. The oldest monster character required the least daily makeup time for transformation. The youngest adult monster characters endured hours of elaborate daily makeup applications. Fact 15. Hollywood glamour meets monster makeup. Fred Gwynne and Al Lewis initially harbored serious professional reservations about welcoming glamorous Yvonne De Carlo into their established comedic partnership. Her impressive reputation as a sophisticated Hollywood star was legendary, known for dramatic roles in epic films like The Ten Commandments and serious biblical spectacles. Her presence seemed potentially incompatible with their quirky, improvisational approach to monster family comedy. They privately worried that such a serious dramatic actress would struggle with physical slapstick comedy requirements. Lewis later publicly admitted their initial concerns proved completely unfounded. De Carlo embraced the chaotic production atmosphere. She matched their manic energy perfectly. Fact 16. Friendship beyond the cameras. The genuine bond between Fred Gwynne and Al Lewis extended far beyond their multiple professional collaborations, creating a lifelong friendship that endured decades after their final scene together. They maintained regular personal contact through letters and phone calls. They supported each other through difficult career transitions and personal challenges. They frequently appeared together at fan conventions and public events throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Lewis often credited Gwynne with teaching him essential television acting techniques and camera awareness. Gwynne consistently praised Lewis's natural ability to elevate every scene through pure, unbridled enthusiasm and comedic instinct. Fact 17. One actor, three monsters.
You never let me have any fun. I'm gonna hold my breath and turn myself back.
Fred Gwynne's remarkable versatility allowed him to portray multiple distinct characters within the Munsters universe, showcasing his impressive dramatic range beyond Herman's beloved gentle giant persona. He masterfully appeared as Herman's supposedly identical twin brother Charlie in Season 1 episodes. He created brilliant comedy through subtle personality contrasts while wearing completely identical makeup and costumes. Season 2 featured his most challenging performance as Dr. Frankenstein's earlier failed experimental creation. Each demanding performance required subtle vocal and physical adjustments that demonstrated Gwyn's extensive theatrical training and unwavering professional commitment to detailed character development. Fact 18. The evolution of Frankenstein's experiments.
I thought he was going to get a fan down there.
The Munsters' complex mythology established Herman as Dr. Frankenstein's most improved and successful experimental creation, with earlier attempts serving as cautionary scientific tales. The memorable episode, A Visit from Johann, introduced Herman's unfortunate predecessor through flashback sequences, a simple-minded creation who appeared physically identical to Herman but lacked intelligence. He wore the classic Frankenstein monster outfit directly from Universal's Son of Frankenstein film production. Johann represented Dr. Frankenstein's learning process through trial and error. Herman embodied the scientist's eventual triumph in creating an intelligent, emotionally complex artificial being. Fact 19. The vampire wife's secret strength.
She's your sister's kid. There's nobody on my side of the family ever looked like that.
Despite Herman's well-established reputation as the family's primary strongman and protector, canonical episode evidence revealed that Lily Munster actually possessed even greater physical power than her massive Frankenstein monster husband. The revealing episode Follow That Munster explicitly demonstrated Lily's superior supernatural strength through impressive feats that Herman simply couldn't replicate despite his size. Traditional gender role expectations were cleverly challenged within the monster family dynamic structure. Her ancient vampire heritage apparently granted physical abilities that exceeded even scientifically reanimated dead tissue capabilities. Supernatural bloodlines definitively trumped resurrection laboratory methods. Fact 20. The Harvard Monster.
I'm afraid those Munsters are frightful pushers.
Fred Gwyn's impressive transformation into Herman Munster represented one of television history's most unlikely casting choices, given his extensive academic credentials and distinguished military service record. He had served with honor in World War II's brutal Pacific theater campaigns. He earned a prestigious English literature degree from Harvard University with academic distinction. He contributed regularly to the renowned Harvard Lampoon humor magazine as an undergraduate. He established himself professionally as a children's book author and talented illustrator before entering television entertainment. His extensive literary background significantly informed Herman's unexpectedly gentle nature and childlike innocence. Fact 21. The PhD Vampire.
A pinch of GL70?
Al Lewis brought unexpected academic gravitas to the role of Grandpa Munster through his impressive educational background. He had earned a PhD in child psychology from prestigious Columbia University at the relatively young age of 31 before pursuing his acting career seriously. His extensive doctoral studies in child development significantly informed his nuanced approach to the character's relationship with young Eddie. He created authentically believable grandfather-grandson dynamics that transcended the show's supernatural elements completely. Lewis's deep understanding of child development principles enhanced every scene with Butch Patrick. His psychological expertise helped ground the Munsters' family relationships. Fact 22. The homesick actress.
It is your aunt and uncle, isn't it? Yes. It is your aunt and uncle?
Yes, I've lived with them since I was a baby.
Beverly Owen's abrupt departure from the Munsters after filming just 13 episodes created immediate production chaos, but her escalating personal unhappiness had been mounting since filming began in California. The original Marilyn Munster actress struggled with intense homesickness for her New York fiancé and growing dissatisfaction with California's entertainment industry culture. She found herself increasingly isolated from both cast members and crew workers. Her professional performance began suffering as personal distress mounted daily. She required additional takes and caused minor but noticeable production delays. Owen's ironclad legal contract bound her to the series for multiple seasons. Fact 23. The Rescue Mission.
Who?
To Bo Peep.
Fred Gwynn and Al Lewis recognized Beverly Owen's genuine emotional distress and took extraordinary personal steps to help their troubled young co-star escape her contractual obligations with Universal Studios. They personally approached skeptical producers and resistant network executives on Owen's behalf. They advocated passionately for her emotional well-being over strict professional obligations and legal requirements. Their intervention required them to risk their own valuable standing with the studio. But both veteran actors felt genuinely openly responsible for their younger colleagues' happiness and mental health. The successful negotiation allowed Owen to return immediately to New York. Fact 24. From monsters to soap opera.
Time I run away, it is not going to be with somebody who is on a liquid diet.
Beverly Owen's post-Munsters career trajectory brought her full circle to her preferred acting environment through a substantial role on the New York-based soap opera Another World, the popular daytime drama filmed exclusively in Manhattan studios. It allowed her to remain close to home while continuing her television career in a completely different dramatic genre. Her smooth transition from supernatural family comedy to serious dramatic serial storytelling showcased her impressive range as a versatile actress. It proved conclusively that her departure from the Munsters reflected personal circumstances and geographic preferences rather than professional limitations. Fact 25. The Treasurer's Daughter.
Can't leave the good-looking women alone, eh, buddy?
Pat Priest's casting as replacement Marilyn Munster brought unexpected high-level political connections to the Munsters through her distinguished family background and government service heritage. She was the daughter of Ivy Baker Priest, who had served as the United States Treasurer during the entire Eisenhower administration throughout the 1950s. Her mother's official signature appeared on American paper currency for nearly a decade. This impressive political pedigree seemed particularly ironic given her television role as the normal member of a supernatural monster family. The United States Treasurer's daughter portraying the most conventional character on television's most unconventional family show. Fact 26. The perfect physical replacement.
They just don't make me like they used to, eh?
Pat Priest's remarkable physical similarities to Beverly Owen created seamless visual continuity for loyal viewers, with both talented actresses sharing nearly identical height, body measurements, and natural blonde hair coloring that perfectly matched the character's original conception. Casting directors had specifically sought someone who could maintain perfect visual consistency for Marilyn Munster without requiring significant costume alterations or makeup modifications. Priest's measurements matched Owen's so precisely that existing elaborate costumes required only minimal adjustments for proper fit. Her natural blonde coloring eliminated the need for extensive hairstyling and makeup modifications that would have delayed production. Fact 27. The ever-changing Eddie.
We're in a kind of a hurry, too.
Ego, my life-giving potion. Where is it?
Young Eddie Munster experienced more casting changes than any other character throughout the Munsters extended universe, with different talented actors portraying him across various productions spanning 3 decades of entertainment. Happy Durman originated the mischievous role in the unaired pilot episode. He established the character's supernatural abilities and playful energy for future development. Butch Patrick claimed the part for the beloved television series run. He created the definitive interpretation that audiences remember most fondly from childhood viewing. Later productions featured K.C. Martell in the 1988 feature film Reboot with Modern Sensibilities. Fact 28. The Revenge Recasting.
If we could get a hold of that computer, we could do some damage.
The Munsters' Revenge television movie in 1981 featured K.C. Martell as Eddie Munster, creating significant continuity confusion with the earlier feature film casting of K.C. Martell in a similar supernatural role. The two child actors had confusingly similar names but completely different physical appearances and distinct acting styles. This led to genuine audience confusion about which version represented the official continuation of the beloved original series characters. Martell's interpretation emphasized Eddie's supernatural werewolf abilities more heavily than previous child actors. The multiple Eddie interpretations reflected the inherent challenges of casting child actors across extended entertainment franchises. Fact 29. The Weight Loss Nightmare.
Hey, you take good care on this one, because I like this one. These are my favorite. Oh, baby.
Fred Gwynn's daily transformation into Herman Munster created a genuine personal health crisis that seriously threatened his ability to complete the demanding series production schedule. His elaborate costume consisted of 40 pounds of uncomfortable foam rubber padding, combined with specially constructed 4-inch platform shoes that elevated him to Herman's intimidating towering height. It created an oppressively hot physical environment that caused excessive sweating and dangerous rapid weight loss. Gwynn lost an alarming 10 pounds within a single month of intensive filming. Concerned crew members installed an emergency air compressor system. Cool air was blown directly into his costume between takes. Fact 30. The Invisible Herman. Herman Munster's relationship with the family's elaborate custom vehicles created persistent logistical nightmares that required creative cinematography solutions and camera trickery. The famous Munster coach's passenger cabin was designed primarily for dramatic visual impact rather than actual passenger comfort or functionality. It made it physically impossible for Fred Gwynne to fit inside while wearing his massive costume and elevated platform shoes. Production crews ingeniously solved this recurring problem by completely removing seats and internal dashboard components whenever Herman needed to appear in driving scenes for episodes. Television viewers never actually saw Herman entering or exiting the distinctive vehicle. Fact 31. The high-maintenance vampire. Yvonne DiCarlo's perfectionist approach to her elaborate appearance created significant daily production delays, though her flawless on-screen performance never reflected the behind-the-scenes chaos occurring between takes. She required multiple professional hairdressers working simultaneously to maintain Lily's intricate gothic hairstyle throughout long shooting days. She demanded frequent makeup touch-ups between every single take to maintain perfection. She insisted on regular professional manicures to keep her vampire claws properly maintained and camera-ready. DiCarlo largely kept to herself during downtime periods. She focused intensely on her meticulous grooming routine rather than socializing with fellow cast members. Fact 32. Mel Blanca's mysterious voice.
I'll say one thing, though. Hiccups aren't as bad as they were.
The legendary voice actor behind Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and over 400 different beloved animated characters contributed a small but memorable supernatural element to the Munsters through his distinctive work as the family's ominous Raven Cuckoo Clock. Mel Blanc's unmistakable voice emerged mysteriously from the elaborate Gothic timepiece. It croaked, "Nevermore," in direct reference to Edgar Allan Poe's famous poem, The Raven, during appropriate dramatic moments. His participation created tangible connections between the Munsters and Warner Bros.' rich animation history. His eerie voice provided perfect atmospheric punctuation to domestic scenes. Fact 33. Frankenstein's laboratory lives again.
You go home and sit quietly while Lily yells at you.
Grandpa Munster's elaborate basement laboratory featured authentic props and electrical equipment from the original 1931 Frankenstein film, creating tangible historical connections between classic Universal monster movies and their television adaptation decades later. Kenneth Strickfaden, the brilliant special effects artist who had designed the electrical resurrection apparatus for Boris Karloff's iconic scenes, worked directly on the Munsters production team. He incorporated many of his original ideas and actual gadgets into Grandpa's experimental workspace with meticulous attention to detail. The laboratory scenes literally sparked with identical electrical effects that had originally created Frankenstein's monster 30 years earlier. Fact 34. The Dragula's criminal construction. George Barris, the legendary custom car builder responsible for creating the iconic Batmobile and countless other famous Hollywood vehicles, faced an unexpected legal obstacle while constructing Grandpa's distinctive Dragula for television use. North Hollywood municipal regulations strictly prohibited the purchase of coffins without accompanying official death certificates from licensed medical authorities. This forced Barris to conduct clandestine negotiations with a sympathetic funeral director who agreed to sell the necessary ornate casket through secretive backdoor transactions. The illegal coffin purchase occurred in a funeral home's rear parking lot at midnight. Barris paid cash to avoid creating incriminating paper trails. Fact 35. From TV car to rock anthem.
Well, Marilyn, what do you think of the new set of wheels?
The Dragula's remarkable cultural impact extended far beyond its original television appearances, inspiring musician Rob Zombie's hit song, Dragula, decades after the Munsters ended production and entered television history. Zombie's heavy metal track celebrated the vehicle's distinctive Gothic design and supernatural family associations through lyrics and music video imagery. It introduced the iconic car to entirely new audiences through rock music rather than family television reruns. The song's commercial success demonstrated the lasting influence of the Munsters' visual design on popular culture across multiple entertainment mediums. A monster family's unique transportation had achieved cultural immortality through musical tribute. Fact 36. Monsters in the Thanksgiving Parade.
Hey, Grandpa.
The 1964 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade featured an unexpected supernatural presence when the distinctive Munster coach and Al Lewis in full grandpa costume joined America's most traditional holiday procession through Manhattan streets. Fred Gwynn's elaborate Herman costume proved too cumbersome and potentially dangerous for public parade appearances in crowds. It required extensive assistance for basic movement and created serious safety concerns in densely packed environments. Lewis's grandpa makeup and costume allowed for much greater mobility while maintaining the show's strong visual impact among the parade's giant balloons and celebrity floats. Fact 37. The museum pieces. The Munster family's iconic vehicles eventually found permanent homes in specialized automotive museums across America, allowing devoted fans to experience their remarkable Gothic craftsmanship decades after filming ended and the series entered television history. The original Munster coach resides proudly in a specialized North Hollywood museum dedicated exclusively to television and movie vehicles. It's displayed alongside other famous Hollywood cars in carefully maintained climate-controlled conditions. The authentic Dragula occupies a place of honor at the prestigious Volo Auto Museum in Illinois. Both distinctive vehicles continue attracting visitors who fondly remember the supernatural family's domestic adventures from their childhood. Fact 38. The address that almost was.
I am sure that our house is due west.
Early script development for the Munsters featured the monster family living at the more obviously superstitious address of 13 Friday Street, emphasizing supernatural elements through both unlucky number and ominous day associations that would appeal to horror fans. Writers eventually rejected this obvious choice in favor of the more poetically sophisticated 1313 Mockingbird Lane address. It maintained supernatural numbering through repetition, while adding unexpected literary sophistication through Harper Lee's famous novel reference. The Mockingbird imagery cleverly suggested underlying innocence within the elaborate Gothic setting and supernatural family dynamics. The thoughtful address change reflected the show's creative evolution from pure supernatural comedy. Fact 39. The recycled movie set.
The manager ran and hid behind the box office.
The iconic Victorian mansion at 1313 Mockingbird Lane existed long before the Munster family moved into television history, having been originally constructed for the 1946 romantic drama So Goes My Love, starring Donna Metch and Myrna Loy in typical Hollywood glamour. Universal Studios maintained the elaborate structure on their expansive backlot for nearly 2 decades before repurposing it as the perfect Munster family home. They added distinctive Gothic architectural elements and supernatural decorations to completely transform its original wholesome appearance into something appropriately spooky. The same versatile house later served as a filming location for the modern series Desperate Housewives. Fact 40. The Wax Museum Tribute. Charles and Sandra McKee, devoted Munsters superfans from Hawley, Texas, constructed a complete wax replica of 1313 Mockingbird Lane that recreated every single detail of the original television set with absolutely obsessive accuracy and attention to period detail. Their impressive museum featured the famous curved staircase and period-appropriate furnishings. It even included a mechanical version of Spot the Dragon emerging from beneath the steps exactly as seen in memorable series episodes. The McKees spent several years researching production photographs and episode footage to ensure perfect authenticity in their loving tribute to the Munster family's distinctive home. Bonus fact: the restaurant where Munsters served pizza. In a cramped Greenwich Village storefront during the late 1980s, something genuinely magical happened that perfectly captured the enduring spirit of the Munsters and its impact on American culture. Al Lewis didn't just open Grandpa's Bella Gente Pasta and Pizza as a business venture. He created a place where fiction and reality blended as seamlessly as marinara sauce and mozzarella cheese on authentic Italian cuisine. Customers would arrive expecting traditional Italian food and encounter Count Dracula's father greeting them personally at the door, signing autographs between dinner orders while maintaining Grandpa's mischievous personality. The restaurant became a living extension of 1313 Mockingbird Lane,